Good day, everybody. Welcome back to our course, Readings in Philippine History. And we are still in our chapter 2, which is all about the content and contextual analysis of selected primary sources in Philippine history. So what we will discuss today. So we will be discussing about the readings, the proclamation of the Philippine independence. This is one of the primary sources that we are going to examine the content and contextual sa kanina chapter. Okay? So, let's start with reading the Proclamation of Philippine Independence. Every year, the country or the Philippines commemorates the anniversary of the Philippine independence proclaimed on June 12, 1989 in the province of Cavite. So in that place, the Philippines was independent from Spain. And this event signaled the end of 333 years the Spanish colonization and 333 years of being under Spain, and there was no opportunity to determine ourselves as a nation because we are under sa Spain. Okay? And there have been numerous studies done on the events leading to the independence of the country, but very few, just like students, teachers, and Filipinos in general, have actually read the document of the Declaration of the Philippine Independence. So, gamay ra jud or limited ra jud ang nakabasa sa Declaration of the Philippine Independence, and that is why you are watching this video to know what happened during the proclamation of Philippine independence. So dapat kita na nipuyo man ta sa Philippines and we are Filipinos, we should really know we should really know what happened during the proclamation of the Philippine independence. So it tells of the kind government that was created under General Emilio Aguinaldo. Nag-describe ang kaning proclamation of the Philippine independence, nag-describe ni sa kind of government under Emilio Aguinaldo. We are not republic. No? The Philippines is democratic and republican state, and if we say democratic, it is a government of people, by people, for the people. And if we say republican state, the people chooses their representative to government. It only became a republic, mahimo lang siyang republic, a year later when the Malolos Constitution was enacted. And the declaration was a short 2,000-word document. It summarizes the reason behind the reason. It summarizes the reason behind the revolution against Spain. No? So the war for independence and the future of the new republic under Emilio Aguinaldo. So if we read or understand the document, we can see the reason behind the revolution o nganong nakibaka ang mga Pilipino, no? Nganong nakibaka ang mga Pilipino laban sa mga Spanish, and of course, it give the reason for fighting the independence. Moto ang nagkahatag og reason nga ang mga Filipinos gi-fight nila ang independence. So with this, no, taas kayo siya. Lang siyang basahon. So taking into consideration that their inhabitants being already wary of bearing the ominous yoke of Spanish domination on account of the arbitrary arrest and harsh treatment practiced by the civil guard to the extent if causing death with the connivance and even with the express orders of their commanders, who sometimes went to the extreme of ordering the shouting of the prisoners under the pretext that they were attempting to escape in violation of the provisions of the regulation of the crops, which abuses were unpunished and on account of unjust deportations, especially those decreed by General Blanco of eminent personage and of high social position at the in instigation of archbishop and friars interested in keeping them out of the way for their own selfish and avaricious purpose. Deportations, which are quickly brought about by a method of procedure more execrable that of the Inquisition, in which every civilized nation rejects on account of decision being rendered without hearing of the persons accused. So we can see at the beginning of the documents ang mga abuso ng mga Kastila. So mo ni ang some uh, abuses during the Spanish regime. First is the arbitrary arrest, harsh treatment, killing of prisoners under the pretext and they were attempting to escape, the unjust deportation, and the absence of due process. So atong nahandria sa arbitrary arrest. So dinhi the Guardia Civil can arrest any person. So ang Guardia Civil daw maka-arrest ni siya o sa kinsa nga tao without basis na wala sila basihan yun ilang gi-arrest. So for arrest to be legal, there must be a basis. There must be a crime nga gi-commit ana nga tao nga para siya ma-arrest. But in the case of Guardia Civil, there are many arbitrary arrests. Diba? They are arrested anyone even though there will be no basis for the arrest. Mura na bitaw og trip lang nila if dili nila feel ang kanang isa ka tao ilang i-arrest. In short, walay karapatan ang tao ani nga time. If you are exercising your right, then naay consequences mahitabo. But it's different from now. Kay naa natay Bill of Rights. No? Na natay mga laws. Next is the harsh treatment. So here, they did not arrest individual, but they also treated them harshly. Wala lang kay arrest nila ang mga tao, pero ilang gihapon gi-harass. No? Then you need to fight for your life. So na torture and other inhuman treatment nahitabo dinhi sa harsh treatment. Third is killing of the prisoners under the pretext that they were attempting to escape. So if gusto nimo patyo ng isa ka tao, they just let them run. Pagdaga nila dito na nila ishot or pusilon, if someone asks nganong namatay ni siya, ang ilang irason kay they are attempting to escape. Diba? Na ay absence of right dito ang nahitabo. Okay? Next, unjust deportations. They were just deported. No? Just like Rizal was deported in Dapitan, kay Moragi inita na siya sa mga Kastila because of his novels nga No Limitang Here and El Filibusterismo and the propaganda movement na siya ang co-founder ato together with Jaina and Del Pilar. Di ba? Grabe kaayo ang pag-abuso sa mga Kastila sa mga Filipino sa una. And lastly, absence of due process. Anong naani siya? Because all of those abuses were no due process. Just like sa ato karon nga na ay mga due process that we really need to hear the both side before mag-decide ang law. Diba? Yatag na og nanay mga law, nanay due process sa tanan. Next is this one. So, di lang natin ibasahon, no? And with this passage, it demonstrates the justification behind the revolution against Spain. So, unsa man ni nga mga justification? So, sa kanili ang statement, nani ang mga justification behind the revolution against Spain. So, na ay mga abuses of the civil guard, the unequal protection of the law, avarice and greed of the clergy, and just deportation without proper hearing. So, mo siya. So, sa pinakauna, mauni ang mga abuses sa mga Guardia Civil. No, grabe ang mga abuses sa mga Guardia Civil sa una. Like, matahong ingon, wa sila legal basis nga nung gi-abuse na siya, kay trip lang nila. Lang, no? Unequal protection of the law. If dool ka sa taas-taas or dool ka sa hari, bisan if nakay sala, nakay exemption. No? Dili kay pareha sa uban nga kung makasala lang, nya way connection sa sahari, so automatic, pat yun. Next is avarice and greed of the clergy. So nakita nato ni sa documents na ang mga wrongdoings sa mga priors or sa mga pari sa una or mga kasakiman sa mga pari, mga hangul o money and kanang selfish muna. Next is unjust deportation without proper hearing. Ito siya isa, no? Walay deportation, just like katong Karizal nga, gideport siya in Dapitan. And from here, the proclamation proceeded with a brief historical overview of the Spanish occupations since Magellan's arrival in Visayas until the Philippine Revolution, with specific details about the latter, especially after the pact of the Nabato had collapsed. So how the Spaniard came to the Philippines through Magellan's in eventual Philippine revolution. And the spread of the movement or katipunan like an electric spark through different towns or provinces in Luzon. Mo sila mga provinces in Luzon, Bataan, Pampanga, Batangas, Bulacan, Laguna, and Morong, and the quick decline of Spanish forces in the same provinces. And the revolt also reached Visayas. Thus, independence of the country was ensured. So the Katipunan was the first to spread. But what ensured the success of the revolution? Kung saan naka-ensure sa success of the revolution? It was when the movement was spread in Visayas. We can realize that the Philippines is composed not only of Luzon, but also it composed Visayas and Mindanao. And if gusto na to i-ensure ang country, we really need to be united. The documents also mention Rizal's execution, calling it unjust execution. The execution as written document was done to please the greedy body of priors in the insatiable desire to seek revenge upon and terminate all those who are who are opposed to their Machiavellian purposes which tramples upon the penal code prescribed for this island. So unjust execution of Rizal. It was really an unjust kay walay legal basis for execution of Rizal nga nung imo man i-execute. Did he commit a crime? But it was that to please the greedy body of friars, no? To please the greedy body of friars. Unsa di ay gusto sa mga friars? To seek revenge and exterminate all those opposed to their Machiavellian purposes or Machiavellian is emphasizes kanang na manipulation and self-interest. In short, mga ginatawag nga dictator. Next, another document was the Cavite Mutiny of 1872 and the infamous execution of Gomborza, which is the father Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, whose innocent blood was shed through the intrigues of the so-called religious orders. Mana siya, no? That incited the three secular priests in the said mutiny. Because of the excitement of religious orders, these three secular priests was accused of Cavite Mutiny and they were executed by garrote. And you will be choked to death. No? And the proclamation of the independence also invokes that the established republic would be led under the dictatorship of Emilio Aguinaldo. The first mention was very beginning of the proclamation. It stated, Manishana. So in the beginning of the document, makita na to ang nga gi-emphasize ang leader or the dictator was Don Emilio Aguinaldo. Fami, and there was a solemn proclamation of his presidency. So, Monisha, no, we acknowledge, approve, and confirm together with the orders that have been issued therefrom. The dictatorship established by Don Emilio Aguinaldo, whom we honor as the supreme chief of this nation. We honor nila as supreme chief of this nation, which this day commences to have life of its own, in the belief that he is the instrument selected by God. instrument selected by God, in spite of his humble origin, to effect the redemption of these unfortunate people as foretold by Dr. Cerizal in the magnificent verses which he composed when he was preparing to be shot, liberating them from the yoke of Spanish domination in punishment of the impunity with which their government allowed the commission of abuses by its subordinates. So, mo na siya ang statement. And now, another detail in the proclamation that is worth looking as it is explanation the Philippine flag that was waved on the same day. So the document explained that the white triangle, oh my god, it's triangle ha. The white triangle, it represents the distinctive emblem of the famous Katipunan Society. So it symbolizes the famous Katipunan Society, and maybe we can impose the purity of the purpose. Next is okay, ang kaning triangle nga I'm referring to is kaning white triangle, di ba? White triangle na siya na. Okay. Next is that three stars. So three stars represents the three principal islands of the Philippine archipelago, Luzon, Mindanao, and Panay. So mo ni Luzon, Mindanao, and Panay. Siya no, Visayas is not an island, and the biggest island in Visayas is Panay. No? Next, the sun. Kani dako nga sun. It represents the gigantic strides and the eight rays of the sun, symbolizing the eight provinces of the Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Bataan, Laguna, and Batangas. And these eight provinces ang una nga nag-declare of state of war sa Spain. And the color blue, red, and white, no? Those of the flag of the United States of North America. So they symbolize they symbolizes the flag colors of the US of North America. Little did we know nga na ay Treaty of Paris gibaligya man di ay ta sa Kastila sa mga American for $20 million. And ironically, after 2 years, the US colonized us. So gitry dorta because we thought friend kanila dili di ay isa palang ahas, di ba? And the color blue here and this color red of the flag are often associated with courage and peace respectively. And lastly, while it can always be argued that symbolic meaning of something presents as several historical truths that can explain the subsequent events which unfolded after the Declaration of Independence on the 12th day of June 1898. So that's the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.